Figured I'd show you my wineberries. I don't know if I ever did a video on the wineberries themselves, but one of the problems I'm having with the wineberries this year is that the birds have picked all my raspberries, wineberries, and blueberries completely clean off the plant. You can see, as soon as they come out, the birds wait for them to ripen, and all the wineberries are gone off these things. I don't even have a chance to eat them. I have to run out here as soon as I get a chance, run out here, eat my wineberries before the birds pick them. You see how they're picking? They picked off, there's like a couple kernels left on it. They're horrible. The birds are absolutely awful around here. Once they found out that this plant is a good food source, I don't have any way to control it. Now, you could see all the wineberries coming off of this plant. It's absolutely incredible. It's like 100 times what a raspberry plant will produce. Unbelievable amount of berries coming out of this plant. But I'm probably going to cut this plant down, and all my raspberries this year, I'm just going to cut them down flat and let the new canes come up fresh. I need to clean out back here because I got bindweed coming in here. And you can see the bindweed, you know, it's literally taking over. So I really got to crack down on the bindweed and just clear this out, cut these down, let new fronds and everything come up, and clean all the weeds out of the bottom of that and add new wood chips to it and start all over again and get rid of this mess, because it grows, and then every year there was canes dying. I got to reach in here and dig the old canes out. But the purpose of this video is to kind of give you an idea what the wineberry looks like. And let me pick a couple before the birds get to them. They come off relatively pretty easy off the cone that's on the bottom. Now, in some states, these are considered an invasive species, so you won't be able to grow these legally without having a problem. Yeah, the birds really cleaned out my plants. Unbelievable. Holy smokes, man. This thing was filled with berries. They came in here and they wiped out all these berries in like a couple days. You got to be very careful when picking berries in your wineberry patch, because that should be good enough for me to show you. I want to pick them anyway because the birds they're wiping me out here. They cleaned out my blueberries this year. They cleaned out my raspberries. It's unbelievable. So I want to give you a good look at what the wineberry looks like. And it very much looks like a wild raspberry. I tried to do this a couple years ago. I just never really did it justice. Yeah, I want you to really see what these look like. And so that's what they look like. They look very much like wild raspberries. And they're not. They do have their own taste. I'm going to eat these right now and try to describe the flavor for you, just so you know. So we are going to officially taste test the Japanese wineberry. So let's take a taste, and going in. They're a little tangier than raspberries tend to be, unless you eat immature raspberries. So they're a little bit tangier, but they do have a nice flavor to them. And what do they taste like? It's hard to say. It tastes very much like raspberry, but not quite raspberry. It tastes very similar to raspberry. I can't quite say it tastes just like raspberry. It does have a similar taste, but not quite. It's nice tasting, that I will say. It's a very pleasant type of flavor, so you can eat these things all day long. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like raspberry, but it tastes like wild raspberry. So there is a difference in taste between a wild raspberry and the cultivated version of the raspberry. This has a very distinct flavor. And what I can say is that it's very enjoyable. It's very enjoyable. But it doesn't necessarily taste exactly like wild raspberry, though it has a very similar flavor. So what I would say is, if you want to grow this plant, definitely pick an area of your yard, and you're going to have to pick quite a big area, 10 to 20 square feet, something like that, 20 by 20 area, and let it grow. Because this plant will spread massively, and you need to be able to control it to some degree. So you're going to have to really be on top of it, but definitely worth growing if you're allowed to grow it in your state. It does have a nice flavor to it, and if you can keep the birds off them, is definitely a good berry to grow. All right, so like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.